Good morning. This is Penny Ferguson, a living leader, on another absolutely glorious day. Just amazing. So I've actually chosen to do this standing in my garden. So it's very beautiful out here. I'll just get out of the way and show you. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, what I want to talk about today, for the next few weeks, what I'm going to do, because not enough of you are sending questions in for me, which is what I'd really like. However, the first book I wrote, 52 Brilliant Ideas, what we're going to do is start sharing each of those ideas each week. So the same thing applies. Please send me in questions when you can so that I can answer specific things that may come up. What I want to talk about today is, when I look back at most of my life, I know that I spent a huge amount of my time really wanting people to treat me in certain ways, probably especially my children. I wanted them to respect me. I wanted them to listen to me. I wanted them to do what I asked them to do. I always wanted to get certain behaviors from them. I had high expectations from my friends about what I wanted to get from them. And I know, and also, of course, from my husband. And the thing that was crazy was, the more that I thought about that, and the more that I thought about what I wanted to get from them, the more I'd get upset or frustrated if they didn't behave or do in a certain way. Think about, maybe, I don't know, it can be at home. You really want to get your children to, I don't know, tidy their room. You want to get them to clear the table when they get up. And you get frustrated when they don't do it. Now, most of the things that you think about, especially when you think about how you want people to treat you, people to either respect you or admire what you're doing or whatever, you actually don't have any control over that at all. You can do your damnedest to influence, but you don't have control over it. And what I began to recognize is that actually I don't have any control over get. I just don't have it. The only thing I have control over is what I choose to give. Now, we've got summer holidays coming up, and summer holidays can be wonderful. They can also be quite challenging because suddenly everybody's around. You're still having to do the things you need to do, and things can get just at times a little bit tense. You might like to think about preparing for an advance and maybe asking your children, your partner, whoever, and sit down and say, maybe do it over a Sunday lunch or an evening supper or something, and saying, okay, what would you really like to get out of these holidays? For these holidays to be perfect for you, what would you like to get out of them? And then let them share what they want to get. And then ask them and say, can you make that happen? Or do you need to influence? So then ask the opposite question. So what do we need to give to each other? What do we need to give to enable us all to have the best holiday possible? And it could be, I need to give you time when you need to do your work in the morning. I need to give you the opportunity to have time for yourself. I need to give the time to sit down and really listen to you and what you want. I need to look at you and tell you all the things that you're doing really well. Think about then, having actually decided what you want to get, what can you then give to enable that to be more likely to happen? It could be a really useful exercise with your teams at work as well. Just sit down and spend half an hour just thinking, what would I like to get out of that team member this week? What would I like to get out of that team member this week? And go through each one of the people and think, what would I like to get in terms of performance, in terms of whatever it might happen to be? And then ask your question, and instead of trying to go and telling them what you want them to do and giving them sort of inspirational chats as to why, just ask yourself the question, what can I give to that team member that's more likely to give them the opportunity to do what I'd really like them to do? What is it that I can give to them? And that could be time. It could be listening. It could be just being able to give them the freedom to give you the feedback and share what they want to. It may be that you need to find a way of giving them more of yourself so they have more courage to share with you things that they really want to share. It may be you need to give amazing questions to help them think for themselves in a different way. So just recognize that you don't actually have control over get. Things like your reputation. You might like people to think wonderful things about you. It's not in your control. So let go of it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just keep thinking, what can I give? So that's my thought for you for this week. Really beginning to say, what is it I can give? That's the one thing that you have complete, utter control over. You don't actually have control over get. So really think, if I knew that there's one thing I can give to all the people close to me this week, what might I choose to give them? So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you get the opportunity to enjoy this lovely weather. And I send you all my wonderful thoughts towards you. And if there's anything that you think that I might be able to give to any one of you, all you need to do is let me know. This is Penny Ferguson, a living leader.